Hello, good morning students. Today in very first unit of English, many kinds of arts, we will discuss activity number 10. Activity 10 is related to photography art. It is related to our photography art. Okay. Let me see whatever in that. Okay. Before activity 10 we will discuss so many activities like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So today we will discuss activity number 10. Photography is also wonderful art. Photography is also wonderful art. Using variety of cameras like digital, SLR and mobile cameras, photographers capture images and arrange exhibitions, participate in photography competitions at a national and international level, as well as upload them on the websites for various purposes. Upload for a website for various purposes. Out of many of photography, one popular type is landscape photography. One of the famous is a landscape photography. Here are some tips for landscape photography. All of you know the meaning of a landscape photography. Landscape photography means the photographers is take pictures of natural places, like there is lands also, then water is present there, trees and forest is there, and also clouds and sky is there. Availability of all the nature elements on one photograph. It is called a landscape photography. Okay, what is the points here giving in this? Let me see. First of all, very first is beautiful landscapes photos are often defined by the quality of light they were taken in. As a consequence, photographers tend to shoot early in the morning or during the late afternoons. Okay, what is the focused by the photographers? Whenever any photographers want to click such kinds of photograph, then they use the time of early morning or maybe at a late afternoons. It is the best time to click the landscape photography. Okay, understand all of you? Then when the sun is lower, less contrasty and often display a subtle color palette of a muddy hues. For these reasons, the words after down and before dusk are known as the magic hours. Okay, what is called magic hours? Magic hours means when the sun is want to started to set, okay, the time of set and the dark night. Between of these two incidents there is a time is called a magic hours. And in the morning, whenever the sun is arise and totally become a light, so between the time it is the best time to click such kinds of photography. It is called a landscape photography. Understand? And this hour is called as a magic hours. This time period is called as a magic hours. Understand? Let me go further. For this reason, the hours after dawn and before dusk are known as the magic hours. If risings at dawn doesn't sit well with your idea of a relaxing weekend, okay, don't panic. There are plenty of great landscape opportunities throughout the day, okay, throughout the day. Whenever we visit such kinds of places, then don't panic at that time of when plenty of great landscapes giving us an opportunity throughout the whole day. Now second point, any landscape photographers desires an image that appears sharp throughout the scene so that element of foregrounds interest such as a rock in a lake look just as sharp as the distant horizon. Whatever we discuss in a our second point, then whenever photographers wants to take a click of landscape photography, then sharp throughout the scene means so that element of foregrounds interest such as a rock in a lake, there is a element of rock is there, lake is there, means the availability of water, land, sky and trees and forest all are at one place. So it is the best scene to take a click of a landscape photography. Okay, it is the best place to take a landscape photography. Now, an horizon, or what is the meaning of horizon? Whenever we visit any place and we see there is no whenever our eyes is go at left, then there is no availability of houses is there, no buildings are there. Just whenever we see there is a land is there, and at the end when we saw there is lands and sky is meet at one place, and which kinds of scene is created there, it is called a horizon. So many photographers are visited that kinds of places and take a click of such kinds of photography to take a landscape photography. Okay, then what is the third point? The third point is one of the great problems for landscape photographers is the difference in brightness between the sky and the land. Okay, whenever the sun is want to started set, at the time the photographers take a click. Okay, take a photographs of particular place, then they see that whenever the sun is want to set, and at the time the brightness is between the skies and land. The brightness between skies and land is on a lake water or maybe in a river water. So the pictures is become too much beautiful and it is liked by each and every person. While the human eye is capable of perceiving detail across this tonal range, a digital sensor isn't capable of recording it. Okay, isn't capable of recording it. Whatever we see in such a kinds of landscape, that we notice that such a kind of a beautiful image can't, whatever the click by our eyes, whatever we see natural scene, it is not clicked by the any photographers or any cameras is able to, but whatever the pictures are clicked by our eye, click what means click, not click, but whatever we see and create in our minds, and whatever the things are we remember, that things is never captured by any photographs or any cameras. So because whatever the pictures and whatever the scene is created is there, because there is a lake is there, there is a landscape is there is a trees are available there, then sun is also one to set is there. So the whole the pictures is created in front of our eyes is become too much beautiful. It is too much beautiful. Okay, so the moment which we feel on a particular time, it's not never captured by any camera in the world. So our eyes is a too much beautiful camera which is given by God to us. So it is the gift of God to see the nature, to feel the nature, okay, to enjoy the nature. Now the fourth, great landscape photography is not necessarily about hunting out the most picturesque scene in the most wonderful light and at the most perfect time of a day. Okay, great landscape photography, what is necessarily it needs a particular timing period. Okay, and whenever we visit at afternoon 12, 1 or 2, then it is not a good photography at that. Okay, it takes a particular time period, then time periods is required. Okay, then indeed there are many aspects of the world's landscapes that are less glamorous. Okay, not too much lighting is there is a less glamorous things is needed, less glamorous things and less lights is needed to take such kinds of landscape photography. Okay, then such as the effects of the heavy farming. Okay, whenever there is a land and near of this land there is such a kinds of farm is there, such a kinds of flower is growing there, such a kinds of small animals maybe is there, then there is a rivers is also flow, lakes is there, then many big trees are there, and behind that there is a beautiful sky is there, and near of that there is a such kinds of mountains is available there. So it is the place where we click a landscape photography perfectly. Okay, then rapidly expanding suburbs and sprawling industrial wastelands that can make a poignant subject for the concerned photographer. Okay, whenever any photographer is want to click such a kinds of photograph, then they visit such a kinds of places. Otherwise there is so many wastelands are there, so it is not useful. Take a look at the effect of a man on the landscapes near your home, and let me see whatever we study in that element, landscape and landscape 2. Whatever we study 4 point and which kinds of landscapes needed, what the elements that we learn. Okay, let me see. Element is time. Then in landscape 1, whatever giving in our textbook, then close to sunset. What is the landscape? Landscape is close to sunset. Okay, then okay, after that we discuss about landscape 2. If you have a textbook, then whenever you see the landscape 1, then you saw that there is a landscape 1 is clicked by the photographers to close to sunset. Close to sunset means near to a sunscape. Whatever the landscape is taken photograph by the photographer, it is close to sunset. First element is what? Timing. First element is what? Timing. Then the second element is light. Okay, sunset means all of you know that which kinds of light is present at the time of sunset. There is a time of dim light. Okay, not a pure means whole light, but there is a dim light, not a full light, but a dim light is there because the time is what? Sunset. Okay, then location. Then location is which area? Then hilly area. Location is which? Hilly area. Understood all of you? The location is a hilly area. The location is a hilly area in a very first landscape. Then depth and field. Depth and field means which kinds of field is there? Which kinds of depth is there? Then there is a low contrast. Which kinds of low contrast? Means not a bright look but a very beautiful look is there. Using photographer using close in landscape 1, photographer used time of close to sunset and light, dim light. Then location is a hilly area. Then depth and field is low and contrast, low contrast. Okay. Then let me see a landscape 2. If you have a book, then you have to notice in that landscape number 2, whatever given in our textbook. Then landscape 2. Then what is the element? Element is the time. Time is what? Morning. The photographers take a photograph at the time of a morning. What is the time? At the time of a morning. And light, bright light. What kind of light? Bright light, because all of you know that at the time of morning sun is look bright, so there is a light is a bright light. Then location is what? Plain sea level, plain sea level. Okay, in a second landscape there is a availability of morning bright light and plain sea level is there. Then the depth and field is what? High. Depth and field is a high. Okay. Then understand all of you. Landscape number 1 and landscape number 2. What is the required when any photographers want to take a photography of any landscape photograph. Okay. Understand all of you. Now let me discuss further in our next videos. Let me meet tomorrow. Okay. Bye all of you.